If you are watching this video, I would love for you to check out my second video that is following this, because this video ended up longer than I wanted it to be. It'll be a practical glimpse into what it was like doing my photography course. Welcome to my photography journey. Hey! Welcome to my channel. Hope you are having a wonderful week. For those of you who don't know me, I am an Aussie and I am also American and Chinese. I am also a photographer who is enthusiastic about anything to do with people. I love weddings, I love families, I love portrait sessions. If I can say this, photography is honestly my true love from the very beginning. Anything to do with capturing memories or emotion or connection, that is my jam. I moved to England last year in August to be with my British partner, where we have long distance for about 2 years, more than 2 years. And now almost 3 years into being together, we are getting married in 2020, coronavirus and all. I am sharing this video not just about photography. This video is about empowering you to pursue your dreams. Guys, it's getting serious. Just for you to dive into those interests that you've been holding off for so long, or maybe you've just realized that you're passionate about something. Seriously, go for it. But honestly, this quarantine and lockdown period is the perfect opportunity to start digging a little deeper and taking a closer peek into those things that you are interested in. I am making this video to empower you, to encourage you, to serve you, to propel you forward into your strengths, and to not put yourself into a box. If you love photography or creativity, like this video and hit that subscribe button and join the family. Share this with someone who comes to mind that you know might need to hear this. When I was younger, I grew up in a very rigid environment in China that did not greatly steward creativity. They are very creative people, but when it came to anything creative, it had to be very academic, or you had to be seriously good at it. You had to be like excellent at it. Somewhere along the line, I know within myself there was this voice, or I know that this could possibly be the devil, who is the prince of lies. I remember so clearly in my mind being like, I am not creative. I am not special enough or creative enough to create anything that is worthwhile. I've seen this lie amongst many children that I've worked with. It is something that we have to address within ourselves as adults, and to address when we come across children who believe the same thing. We empower the lie and the liar. And you're probably thinking, hey Meredith, like I clicked this video to watch something about photography. Well, it definitely is about photography, but I just wanted to go straight to the core, to the heart of everything that we believe about ourselves. We create when something is in our heart and in our mind. It flows out through our actions and who we believe ourselves to be. We are capable of things that are beyond our logic, beyond our understanding, and beyond our experience. To me, when I read the word, it says nothing is impossible for those who are with God. Because we are made in the image of God, we are also made by the ultimate creator who gave us creativity in the first place. For us to want to dive into creativity, that is something that is natural, and so to never ever suppress that just because you think you may be bad at something. Maybe you're watching this video and photography is not even your main passion. Maybe you are multi-passionate, or you want to use photography as a stepping stone to build your business in an area of a different interest. And that is perfectly fine. That is a great place to start. When I first started my teaching degree, it was very hard for me. I did it because it was the practical thing to do, but all along I should have just been doing a creative degree. And now that I look back, the teaching degree that I gained was so practical, and I reconciled that part of my past. In that season, I have met so many incredible people that I may not have met. I have done life with kids that have forever marked me. It has followed me into this photography journey of loving to photograph children, and I just love the spontaneity, the stuff that they do outside the box brings me so much joy. After I finished doing my teaching degree, I was so excited to get into photography. I was like scared out of my mind, but I was so excited. And I thought, man, could this be real? Like, could this be possible? I had so much support from family members. They were so supportive. They were like, yeah, just go for it. Just make the most of it. And then on the other hand, I had some people in my life who were so discouraging. You'd be surprised how discouraging it was for me. Maybe were things that came out of a place of hurt, and maybe they wanted to help me, but it was definitely something that I did not take on board. And I was like, no. I looked within myself, I prayed, I really sought the Lord about this, and I looked within my heart and was like, no, this is the truth. This is what actually brings me so alive, and I am gonna go for it. I knew that in this season, God was calling me to do this, and that it was gonna change my life forever. And boy, did it change my life forever. More times where I've like just cried from happiness from choosing this journey at the right time and the right place. I think this really applies to all aspects of life. You have to discern what is wisdom and what is truth and what is it that God is saying instead of all these outside factors. You have to weigh it, and you have to really not rush into it or shut things off just because it doesn't look possible at first glance. Take on board the things that make you excited to get out of bed, those things that really give you a sense of purpose. So I quickly started inquiring at different universities, different colleges, and I was really looking at what I can learn, and I wanted to go for it for a whole year. I didn't want it to just be an online course. I was so passionate. No, I want it to be in person. I want it to be on the ground, hit the ground running, super practical. Was going to be teaching on campus, and to be able to be with other photography classmates, having that accountability and having fun together, exploring this new found interest. I remember praying. I was like, God, you know where this is going to lead. You know where I need to be. God did this absolutely crazy miracle, and even financially it was a miracle. But I got accepted into TAFE. SOUTHBANK, was able to be with a whole bunch of amazing classmates from different backgrounds, different walks of life, different skill levels, and we just all had so much fun together. We were so international as well, which is something I just really dearly loved. In that time period, I found some of the greatest lecturers, the greatest photography lectures that I could ever stumble upon. Some had backgrounds in ballet, fine arts, some were like Photoshop geniuses, some had backgrounds in criminology, or they had started doing film photography since they were like 16 years old. And one of them in particular, his name was Paul, and he's still teaching at that school to this day. So if you're an Australian and you're in Brisbane and you're watching this video and being like, oh my God, like I want to take on photography, you must look into photography at TAFE, because it will change your life, and it's so much more affordable than doing it for 4 years. My lecturer, he really just instilled a love into our group to learn and to not have that feeling of forcedness, but he just really guided us along this path, and he just cheered us on every step of the way. But he was British, and it was just like the coolest thing ever. I gave it 100%. I would work on Saturdays, and then after my shift, I would go and do a photo shoot straight after. I was working 2 separate jobs. I was also doing TAFE full time. I was doing all of the photography assignments, which were assignments and photo shoots, and doing paid photography work. Now that was a really busy season that I looked back on and I was like, maybe I should have rested more. And that is something really crucial when you're learning something new. I want to be really honest with you guys in this video. It was not easy having all your free time put aside for that passion, but I think because that was a season and I knew that I wanted to make the most of it, that was the commitment that I brought to that season. I started TAFE in the middle of July, and I was going to classes almost every day. I shot 4 weddings, I shot 4 family shoots, and then I also shot 1 clothing brand and heaps of different portrait sessions that I just smile when I look at these photos. I think, wow, how far I've come. Won 2 silver awards in family and wedding, and that just like blew my mind. I was like, Oh my god, like, is that even real? Part of our assignment was to submit into awards at the time, and we did the AIPP awards session, and we got to be a part of it where you saw the judges critiquing all the prints, looking at all the technical side, the emotions and the feeling. If you're able to do something where your photography class encourages you to submit for awards, it is so good because then you get feedback on your photography. I was like crying. Wow, all those years I thought that I wasn't creative, and then I saw this and I just felt the goodness of God wash over me, and it was just one of those moments. I wish everyone who is, you know, squishing their potential or thinking they're not good enough, crazy stuff can happen when you step outside your comfort zone. As I progressed in my photography journey, I literally made so many memories that were filled with tears and laughter and things of uncertainty, not knowing anything, to learning more and more every day. And I think that was such a beautiful thing that really impacted my heart and impacted the hearts of those people who were doing the course with me. I felt we were growing and we were all thriving and blooming flowers and these beautiful lush plants. Like, that's how it felt, just planting that seed and seeing us, you know, grow into something really beautiful. Going from film photography in the darkroom, doing all of these cool little things and processing photos the old-fashioned way was such a cool experience, and then going to learning digital, learning how to shoot on manual and learning all the technical stuff, and then shooting in a studio with all these studio lights, and it's all these different products or different objects or clothing. It's just absolutely fantastic. Krispy Kremes. I got free donuts from Krispy Kremes and I photographed them as food photography, and it was just so wonderful. I didn't end up eating those donuts because you just don't want to touch them and eat them after you photograph them all. I'm pointing out in this story that I did not let fear get in the way. Even if I felt fear, I would not let it stop me from enjoying this adventure that I had put myself into. And I didn't allow what people spoke over me to stop me from enjoying a passion that brought me so much joy. I made time for photography, so much time in that year, and I made friends with my camera. I asked so many people to be a part of my assignments. I planned ahead, I got excited, I got pumped for it. Sometimes it was literally just improvisation, and it was the greatest thing ever. I saw this journey as an adventure, and I allowed it to be messy, and I allowed it to be imperfect. At times, I cried because I was so burnt out, but I also know that from that I learned how to rest, and I had a long season of rest after that year had happened. I realized the key to learning something new that is so enjoyable and that you have so much passion for was to just keep going and to keep learning every day, and not allowing yourself to have this ideal scenario of, oh, I'll wait till this is perfect before I start, or oh, I have to be this good in order to do that. Relinquishing those mindsets, drop it like it's hot, and just be like, no, I just need to start from ground one, ground zero, and just to learn as much as I can. And I think everyone that I've seen that has been so successful or has just thrived loving what they enjoy is to just be messy in the beginning and just start doing it from like an imperfect standard, and then as you go onwards, you then sometimes you just have to start and not be good at something in order to just know if that's your thing. My love for people was so strong, and during this time I just wanted to capture all these memories for them so that when they looked back on it, they could taste and see those feelings, those emotions, those connections. And even now I'm learning the art of that, and I want to go more into that, because a photo is more than just a photo or something posed. It's more than just, you know, a snap you get on an iPhone. Photography is seriously an art form that you want to frame and to enjoy and to savor those moments that have been captured forever in time. There will never be a moment that is exactly like that, and to have that captured in a beautiful way, I have no words. If you are a young person or a young guy or young girl who is watching this video, please don't ever get cheap photography for your wedding. Your wedding is the most beautiful day of your life, no matter how expensive you've poured your money into. Photography is something that you'll always take away from that day. So please do yourself a favor and invest more than $500 into your photography for that day. You will not regret it. This section is about practical tips that can help you get started in photography. So the first tip is to go into a camera store. Once all the camera stores open after this coronavirus ends, is to go in and hold a camera. You want to be carrying a camera that you feel comfortable with is a crucial step. Number 2 is to borrow a camera. If you have a friend who is kind enough to lend you a camera, know of someone you can rent a camera from. So saving your money for a full frame camera. Wanting to take photography seriously, please don't start with like a beginner's set, because like in the end you're gonna want to upgrade, because I know how this works. I know how important it is your hands on a camera immediately and start cheap, but if you can borrow a camera first, that would be great, and then save that money to buy a full frame camera that you can operate on manual and learn all of the technical stuff on this camera, whether it's secondhand from someone who's trying to upgrade their equipment or on a sale. Get a full frame camera. Number 3 is to become friends with Lightroom and Photoshop. During my course, I fell in love with Lightroom, but I think the way Photoshop was taught to us was quite rushed, and I think that is something that I dearly need to improve on. I know how to use Photoshop, but only the very basics, and I think that is something that I truly want to grow in, which comes back to the key of learning every day and just to keep going and just to grow. Number 4 is to dabble around in Lightroom and Photoshop, do lots of different editing techniques, practice with different colorings, like go for like the mood or the tones that you naturally are drawn to. A lot of people ask me, what kinds of presets do I use? When I first began doing photography, I was doing all my own presets and they were like okay, but then I looked up a YouTube tutorial on how to make a preset. If you were wanting to do it kind of quickly, you can also purchase a preset pack from your favorite photographer or your favorite Instagrammer. I know that there are so many people out there selling presets in certain styles and certain colors. If you are drawn to a certain Instagrammer style, you can purchase their presets. I think once you've been doing it for a while, making your own presets that suit your editing style is really good, because then you kind of find your own style outside of someone else's style and see what is it that is your signature look. When it comes to clothing, and you find your own style and you stick to that signature look, and just be fully confident about it. Having certain times where you can sort of dabble in other editing styles for fun, doing it in a way that suits you. Also, Lightroom is available on your iPhone for free, which is so amazing, and then you can get Lightroom presets for your phone. Number 5 is super key. Ask your friends and family that you feel comfortable and safe with and photograph them. Photograph them, like photograph couples, photograph families, photograph portrait sessions, brands, headshots, whatever. Practice. Don't strive for perfection. Just do it. Once you have progressed more and more and people are paying you for your photo shoots and you have something valuable to offer, you need to find a contract template or make your own contract template, because contracts can protect you. Having like those expectations stated can protect you legally. Number 7 is such a big one, is to not be afraid to photograph in the rain. Seriously, you can get a rain jacket, you can get a rain cover for your camera, but seriously, like, don't stop yourself from going out and photographing in the rain, because I know that there's like really pouring, bucketing rain. Maybe that's not a good idea, but if it's light rain, photos look very cinematic in that weather. Comfy clothes is everything. Even if you're shooting a wedding and you're wearing all black, make sure it looks nice, but it's also comfortable. Number 8. So this is one of the reasons why I grew really quickly, is I watched heaps of YouTube tutorials on different topics in photography. I just like consumed them, like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whenever I had some free time at TAFE, I would just be watching YouTube videos. I was so hungry for them. In that season, I found Jessica Whitaker. Jessica, you have changed my life and I love you. I will link her workshop and her website down below. Please check it out. She has a workshop that literally covers everything from A to Z, or Z, wherever you're from. Something that has been so helpful, so please check it out. If you want to dive into the business aspect of photography and you're like, heck, I don't even know where to start, I will link Jenna KUTCHER down below. Jenna KUTCHER has this photography lab that is covering all the basics in business, and this is also a lot cheaper than college or university. But she also has lots of blogs and resources that are free, so if you want to start somewhere, I will link her down below. These are only some of the tips I have for photography. I was gonna stop here because this video is getting way too long. These are some of my photography tips that I want you guys to grab hold of and go for it and grow and love it. I just want you to love it. Seriously, it's brought me so much joy and I want it to bring you a lot of joy too if you like photography, or if you're just a creative in general and you just want to learn. Make sure during this time that you have boundaries on your rest. Rest is crucial for learning. Rest and sleep it repairs your brain and it helps you to learn more and absorb more and just to grow and thrive and be happy. If you are watching this video and you are a pro creative, creativity is life for you, or photography is life for you, and you're watching this video because you just love photography, seriously, you are the fam. You are the fam. Please share your gold nuggets down below in the comments for me and for others to read, because I would love to read it and I'm sure they would find it super helpful. Before this video gets insanely long and your eyes get super droopy, I hope this video has truly inspired you to pursue your dreams and to get going with the things that you love and to love what you do. Whether you are in music, acting, digital media, you're a graphic designer, you are a health enthusiast, you love to make clothing, you just love people, you're a writer, you're into game animation, you're into making films and videos, well, you are capable of so much more, and I am here. I am cheering you on, and I am your cheerleader. Meredith is your cheerleader. If you have someone doubting you, be like, no, Meredith is my cheerleader. She believes in me because I believe in you. If you'd like to see more video content like this, or more videos related to creativity or to photography, please comment them down below. Be really specific. Be like, Meredith, I want to see this video. I will do my best to address these requests because I really want to make stuff that is useful and inspiring for you. It brings my heart so much joy when I see other people thriving in what they do, whether it's my friend starting a podcast, or my friend releasing a video, or my friend releasing a YouTube channel on interior design and home decor, which I know I'll use because when I move I'll be watching all of those videos. Every single person is creative. You may not feel like you fit under a creative genre or creative box. Creativity is not even meant to be in a box. Like, you could be a nurse, or you could be in construction, you could be in business, and you could still be creative, but you're just creative in different ways. And I think creativity is such an important part of life, where we need to believe that God's given us such great skills. He's given us brains, don't even operate at full capacity. Imagine if we were using 100% of our brain, we would literally all just explode with awesomeness. If you're looking at this video and you're being like, oh my gosh, Meredith, what you did was so cool, what you achieved was so cool. All of this seriously changed my life, and I think it happened because I stopped doubting myself and I just did it. I didn't give myself time for fear to settle in and creep in and to like strangle me. I know that life will happen, and there will be times where you have to make money from things that may not bring you a lot of joy, or it may be something that you're bored of. But when you evaluate what's important to you, when you evaluate what you enjoy and how you can monetize something that brings you so much joy, I think setting aside time and making time for planning ahead and working on those things is so important, and I think anyone can do it. You just always have to just start, and you have to try it, and you have have to be prepared to fail, but also know that nothing is impossible with God, and that God is cheering you on, and that God delights in what makes you come alive, and that as you delight in Him, He will give you the desires of your heart. So even if you don't know what those serious desires are and you're still on that journey of figuring it out, know that it will come, that revelation will come, and in this process, being happy in the moment and making the most of being alive. Seriously, I hope that this has brought you encouragement, and that you would comment down below one thing you want to start today that you want to have accountability for, and maybe look into an online course or even go study it in person once this coronavirus is over, because this has been the perfect opportunity for self-reflection, to realize the things that you actually don't want. There's so much more other opportunity to make money and have a life and do cool things. Even if that journey is hard and it takes a lot of hard work, like, it'll just be so much more worth it in the long run. I love you guys, and whoever is watching, God bless you. You are handsome, you are beautiful, you are lovely, you are kind. It is seriously what you believe about yourself that shapes who you are, and also knowing how God sees you is so, so important. Knowing that you're loved and that you're never alone, and that you can go through challenges and there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Take care during this time. Have a wonderful week. Stay creative, stay alive. Love you so much. Bye.